listen to me. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care how hard it's been. You got one job, one mission, one purpose, and that's to win. I will win, even when I'm tired, even when I'm broken, even when the odds are against me. I will win, not because life is easy, but because I refuse to quit. You see, winners aren't born, they're built. Built in the dark, built when nobody's watching, built in the gym at 5 a.m., built when you broke but still showing up like you're rich, built when your dreams are laughable to others but real to you. Let me tell you something, every setback is a setup for a comeback. So when I fall, I get up. When I fail, I learn. When I'm doubted, I grind harder, because I'm not chasing victory, I'm becoming it. This ain't about talent. This is about heart. This is about hunger. This is about being willing to suffer now so I can celebrate later. It's about putting in the work when nobody believes in you, even when you barely believe in yourself. I'm not asking for it. I'm claiming it. I'm not hoping for it. I'm working for it. I will win. Winners are built, not born. That's a truth most people don't want to hear, because it means you can't just sit around waiting for greatness to show up in your life. It means you have to go get it. It means the grind is not optional. It's required. You're not going to wake up one morning with all the skills, all the motivation, all the strength and say, today I'm a winner. No, it doesn't work like that. You're going to wake up and feel tired. You're going to feel broken. You're going to feel like nothing's changing. But that's when the building happens. Winners are made in the dark. They're made when nobody's clapping, when nobody's watching, when there's no spotlight, no likes, no followers, just silence. And you, just the weights in the gym, just the books in front of you, just the grind. Because see, it's not about being naturally gifted. It's not about having a silver spoon or a head start. It's about what you do with what you have. And if you can do a lot with a little, if you can push with almost nothing, that's when you start becoming dangerous. Everybody wants to win, but not everybody wants to work. People want to be champions, but they don't want to train like champions. They want the results, but not the repetition. They want the reward, but not the responsibility. But I'm telling you, if you're willing to build, if you're willing to commit, if you're willing to outwork every excuse, you will become a winner. Not just in the game, not just in the classroom, not just in business, but in life. Think about the strongest people you know, the most successful ones, the leaders, the legends, the ones who stand out. Most of them didn't start with anything special. They started where you are, maybe worse, but they chose to build. They chose to suffer through early mornings and late nights. They chose to work while others slept. They chose to sacrifice now so they could celebrate later. They weren't born with a win stamped on their forehead. They forged it, earned it, built it. When the world told them they couldn't, they kept going. When people laughed at their dreams, they stayed focused. When they lost, they studied. When they got knocked down, they got back up with more fire. That's what building looks like. It's not pretty, it's not flashy, it's not easy, but it's real, it's powerful, it's how the greats are made. You see, the truth is nobody sees the work you're doing now, and that's okay, because the goal isn't to be seen, it's to be remembered. When you build yourself, when you craft your mind, your spirit, your grind, day by day, that's when you separate yourself from the average. That's when you level up. That's when you begin to win, not once, not by luck, but over and over again, because it becomes who you are. You become relentless. You become focused. You become a builder of your own destiny. While others are waiting for opportunities, you're creating them. While they're making excuses, you're making progress. While they're watching Netflix, you're writing your own success story, one page at a time. Building doesn't mean being perfect. It means being committed. It means when you mess up, you keep going. When you fall short, you adjust. When you fail, you try again. Winners aren't perfect, they're persistent. And that persistence is built over time. It's built in the cold, early hours when you want to quit, but choose to go one more round. It's built when your body says stop and your heart says push. There's no secret formula. There's no shortcut. There's no easy path. If you want to win, you have to build yourself up brick by brick, choice by choice, day by day. You have to become the kind of person who does the hard things, not just once, but consistently. Because the world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you're willing to fight for. And the fight is where the winner is forged. So stop looking at others thinking they had it easier. Stop blaming your past. Stop waiting for something to change and start becoming the change. Start building today, now, with what you have. No more complaining, no more comparing, no more coasting. Winners don't coast. They climb, they dig, they grind, they build. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to build yourself into a winner. You're going to show up when it's hard. You're going to grind when it's uncomfortable. You're going to give it everything you have because that's what winners do. They don't wait for it. They become it. You weren't born a winner. You were born with the opportunity to become one. If you keep building, keep pushing, keep showing up, one day you'll look in the mirror and realize you didn't just win. You became the kind of person who always finds a way to win. That's who you are. That's who you're becoming. And that's why you will. Pain is part of the process. That's something most people run from. But winners, real winners, they lean into it. They understand that pain is not the enemy. Pain is the teacher. Pain is the builder. Pain is the fuel that forges strength, character, and greatness. You cannot grow without it. You cannot rise without it. You cannot become something greater unless you're first willing to suffer through what others avoid. You look at any champion, any top performer in sports, in life, in business, none of them escaped pain. They didn't win because it was easy. They won because they were willing to go through what others weren't. They trained when it hurt. They studied when they were tired. They kept showing up when the world said quit. That's the difference. It's not the talent. It's the tolerance. The tolerance for discomfort, failure, frustration, doubt. The ones who can handle the pain of growth are the ones who earn the prize. Most people want comfort. They want safety. They want ease. But that mindset never produces greatness. You don't get muscles without sore days in the gym. You don't get results without long nights grinding when your eyes are heavy and your body's begging you to stop. You don't become a winner by avoiding the hard stuff. You become a winner by enduring it, by walking through the fire and coming out strong. Pain is not a punishment. It's a message. It's the body, the mind, the spirit saying, this is new, this is tough, but this is where the change begins. That burn you feel when you're pushing your limits, that's your body leveling up. That frustration you feel when you fail, that's your brain learning what doesn't work so it can move closer to what does. That heartbreak, that disappointment, that rejection, that's life chiseling away your ego and sharpening your focus. Pain refines you. If you allow it to, it will shape you into something powerful. But too many people run the moment they feel it. They give up at the first sign of resistance. They say, this is too much. This is too hard. This must not be for me. No, that's exactly when you're supposed to push through. That's when you're on the edge of growth. That's when a breakthrough is about to come. If you just keep going. The pain you're feeling now is not here to stop you. It's here to test you, to see how bad you really want it. You say you want success, but are you willing to struggle for it? Are you willing to hurt for it? Are you willing to bleed, sweat, and cry for it? Because the truth is, everybody wants to win until it gets uncomfortable, until it gets real, until it demands everything from you. And the winners are the ones who don't flinch when that moment comes. They don't run from the pain. They embrace it. They look it in the eye and say, let's go. When you're in pain, that's when your choices matter most. That's when your habits are revealed. Will you push through or will you fold? Will you show up or shut down? Will you continue the mission or make an excuse? That decision made over and over again in moments of discomfort is what separates the average from the elite. Winners choose to keep moving even when every step hurts. Even when every part of them says stop. That's what it takes. Pain is also where resilience is born. You don't build mental strength on the couch. You build it in the storm. You build it when you've been knocked down and you find the courage to stand again. You build it when everything goes wrong, but you still find something in you that says, I'm not done yet. Every time you endure pain, your threshold increases. What once broke you now barely shakes you. That's growth. That's transformation. So don't curse the pain. Don't wish it away. Use it. Learn from it. Let it sharpen you. Let it motivate you. Let it fuel the fire inside. Because the truth is, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. The pain you feel today becomes the strength you carry tomorrow. And every time you conquer that pain, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. You become unbreakable, unshakable, unstoppable. Understand this, comfort is a trap. It whispers lies. It tells you to play it safe. But pain tells you the truth. Pain tells you where your limits are and gives you the chance to break them. Every champion you admire, every success story you look up to, They all walk through pain to get there. Not once, not twice, but over and over again. That's what built their character. That's what forged their discipline. That's what gave them the edge. You are no different. You have the same choice. You can run from pain and stay where you are, or you can face it and become who you were meant to be. You can use the pain or let the pain use you. But one thing is for sure, if you want to win, you have to be willing to suffer now for the success you want later. That's the price. And real winners, they don't just pay it, they pay it gladly, because they know what's on the other side is worth every second of the struggle. So embrace the pain. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to develop you. The mind is the battlefield. Everything you want to achieve, every goal you've set, every dream you carry, it all starts and ends in your mind. If your mind isn't strong, your body won't follow. If your thoughts aren't disciplined, your actions won't be consistent. If your mindset isn't right, your results never will be. That's the truth. The greatest enemy you'll ever face isn't out there in the world. It's the voice inside your head telling you to stop, to quit, to doubt yourself. And until you conquer that voice, until you train your mind to believe, to focus, to fight, you will always fall short of your full potential. Winning doesn't begin on the field, in the office, or in the gym. It begins the moment you decide in your mind that you will not lose, that no matter what comes your way, you will not fold, that no matter how long it takes, you will not quit. That kind of mental commitment changes everything, because when the obstacles come, and they will, you won't be surprised. You'll be ready. When the pain hits, and it will, you won't back down. You'll push harder. When people doubt you, and they will, you won't listen. You'll stay locked in. That's the power of a trained mind. But that kind of mental toughness doesn't happen overnight. You have to build it, just like a muscle. You got to feed your mind with the right thoughts every day. You've got to challenge it, stretch it. Discipline. That means waking up with purpose. That means choosing focus over distraction. That means speaking life into yourself when no one else will. It means rejecting negativity, shutting down self-doubt, and refusing to give fear any space in your mind. It means taking control of your mental environment, because what you think you become, most people lose in their minds long before they ever take the first step. They talk themselves out of trying. They convince themselves it's too hard. They see failure before they even begin. But winners, they see it differently. They train their minds to see opportunity in the struggle. They don't just hope things will work out. They believe without question that they will make it work. That belief becomes fuel. It becomes energy. It becomes the force that keeps them moving when everything says stop. And let me be real with you. It's not always easy to keep your mind strong. You'll face days when you feel broken. You'll face situations that shake your confidence. You'll hear voices from others and from within telling you that you're not good enough, not fast enough, not smart enough. But in those moments, you've got to choose what voice you're going to listen to. Are you going to feed the fear, or are you going to feed the fire? Because fear is always trying to steal your focus. It wants to make you second guess your path. It wants you to hesitate, and hesitation is the beginning of defeat. But focus, that laser sharp mindset that says I'm locked in and nothing can stop me, that's what wins. That's what creates momentum. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. You have to protect your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. What you let in becomes what you put out. If you constantly entertain negative thoughts, you'll live a negative life. But if you commit to a mindset of growth, of discipline, of belief, then no matter how tough the situation, you'll find a way through it. Your mind will lead you. Your mind will push you. Your mind will carry you when your body wants to give up. And don't think mental strength means you never struggle. Mental strength means you keep going through the struggle. It means when life knocks you down, your mind says, get up. It means when you hit a wall, your mind says, climb it, break it, find a way. It means when you lose, your mind says, we learn, we grow, and we come back stronger. That kind of mindset isn't common. It's rare. But it's available to anyone willing to work for it. So the question isn't whether you can win, it's whether you're willing to train your mind like a winner. Are you willing to take control of your thoughts every day? Are you willing to challenge your excuses, your doubts, your fears? Are you willing to lock in so completely that nothing and no one can pull you off your path? If you can say yes to that, really mean it, then there is nothing you can't overcome. Because once your mind is made up, your reality starts to shift. You stop waiting for motivation and start moving with discipline. You stop hoping for the best and start preparing for the fight. You stop reacting to life and start commanding it. That's the power of the mind. And once it's trained, focused, and relentless, there's no force on earth that can keep you from your goals. So decide right now. No more giving in to weakness. No more entertaining doubt. No more mental laziness. Train your mind every day like your success depends on it, because it does. You win in your mind first. And once you win there, the rest of the world doesn't stand a chance. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Everyone has dreams. Everyone has hopes. But not everyone has the discipline to turn those dreams into reality. It's not motivation that builds success, it's consistency. And consistency comes from discipline. Motivation comes and goes, but discipline is what shows up when motivation doesn't. It's waking up early when you'd rather sleep in. It's saying no to distractions when your mind craves escape. It's showing up and doing the work even when nobody's watching and there's no immediate reward. When you say I will win, what you're really saying is I will outlast, outwork, and outdiscipline every excuse, every obstacle, every temptation that tries to pull me off track. Discipline is the muscle that allows you to keep moving forward when life gets hard, because life will test you. It will give you every reason to slow down, to give up, to settle. But discipline says not today. Discipline is your internal commander, the one that drives you to be better even when no one's clapping for you. It's easy to be disciplined for a day. It's easy to work hard when everything's going well and the results are showing. But what separates winners from everyone else is that they stay disciplined even when it's hard, even when the progress is slow, even when the rewards seem far away. They keep going because they know that every step, every rep, every choice matters. They understand that success is not built in bursts, it's built in repetition, in the daily grind, in the small, unglamorous decisions made over and over again. You want to win? Then ask yourself this: can you stick to the plan when it stops being exciting? Can you keep your word to yourself even when no one else holds you accountable? Can you say no to the party, no to the shortcut, no to the easy way out? Because those moments define your path. Winners aren't made during the highlight reel. They're made in the dark, behind closed doors, where the only voice pushing them forward is their own. Discipline is also about sacrifice. It's about choosing long-term growth over short-term comfort. It's about delaying gratification and trusting the process. Most people want the reward without the work. They want the finish line without the training. But that's not how it works. Discipline forces you to be honest with yourself, to ask, are you doing what needs to be done, or are you just doing what's convenient? Because the road to victory is paved with choices that most people are unwilling to make. There will be times when you don't feel like showing up, times when your emotions try to take control. But discipline is not emotional. It doesn't care how you feel. It cares what you committed to. When you have discipline, your actions are no longer dependent on your mood. They're driven by your mission. That's how champions are built, not on good days, but on the days they refuse to let their feelings lead them. Discipline also requires clarity. You can't stay disciplined toward a goal you don't fully understand. You've got to know why you're doing what you're doing. What's the vision? What's the outcome you're chasing? That clarity becomes your anchor. It keeps you grounded when life tries to pull you in 1,000 directions. When your why is strong enough, your discipline becomes unshakable. And remember this: discipline compounds. Just like interest in a bank account, the more consistent you are, the more it grows. The more you show up, the easier it becomes to keep showing up. Every day you make the right choice, you strengthen your identity as a disciplined person. And when you believe that about yourself, when you start to see yourself as someone who follows through, who keeps promises to themselves, you become unstoppable. Discipline builds confidence. Not the kind that comes from compliments or applause, but the deep, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you've done the work. When you're disciplined, you don't have to hope things will go your way. You know you're ready. You put in the hours. You've done the hard things. You've shown yourself over and over again that you can be counted on. That's the kind of power discipline gives you. It makes you dependable. It makes you resilient. It gives you an edge. Because while others wait for the right mood, the right moment, the perfect timing, You're already moving. You're already grinding. You're already building. So if you really want to win, fall in love with discipline, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Because it's the one thing that guarantees results. No matter what your goal is, losing weight, building a business, becoming the best in your field, discipline is the foundation. It's the thing that keeps you moving when motivation fades and life gets tough. Stop chasing inspiration and start building discipline. Set your goals, make your plan, and then commit to showing up every day, no matter what. And if you fall, if you miss a day, if you slip, get back up. That's part of the process. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. It's about saying, I may not feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's what winners do. That's how they rise. You want to win? Then earn it. Not with hype, not with talk, but with disciplined action, day in, day out. Because in the end, it's not the most talented, the most gifted, or even the most motivated who win. It's the most disciplined. Pain is a powerful teacher. It's not something we ask for, not something we welcome, but it's something that shapes us in ways comfort never could. Pain reveals who we are. It shows us what we're made of. It strips away the excuses, the lies, the illusions, and leaves behind the raw, unfiltered truth. It's in those moments of struggle, those moments of heartbreak, failure, and loss that our true character is forged. Because growth doesn't happen in easy seasons. Growth happens in the fire. You don't develop strength by coasting through life. You develop strength by going through something and deciding not to let it break you. And here's the reality. Pain is inevitable. You're going to get hurt. You're going to fail. People will betray you. Life will knock you down. That's not negativity. That's life. But what defines you is not the pain itself, it's how you respond. Do you let it define you, or do you rise from it stronger, wiser, more focused? Winners don't run from pain, they use it. They lean into it, they learn from it. Because pain has a purpose, if you're willing to see it. It's a signal, a wake-up call, a moment that says something has to change. Maybe it's your habits, maybe it's your mindset, maybe it's the people around you. Whatever it is, pain is a doorway to transformation, if you're brave enough to walk through it. Some of the most successful people in the world didn't get there because they had it easy. They got there because pain showed up and they chose to grow through it. They turned heartbreak into hunger. They turned losses into lessons. They turned rejection into redirection. And that's the mindset you need if you're serious about winning. You have to stop seeing pain as the end and start seeing it as the beginning. You may have been knocked down, but you're not knocked out. That pain you're feeling, it's not punishment, it's preparation. It's preparing you for something greater. It's building resilience. It's strengthening your resolve. Because the truth is, you won't appreciate the mountaintop if you haven't walked through the valley. The victories feel different when you bled for them. The success hits deeper when you suffered for it. Pain has a way of sharpening your focus. It makes you pay attention. It reveals what really matters. It makes you let go of things you should have dropped long ago. The fake friends, the bad habits, the limiting beliefs. Pain forces you to grow up. It forces you to evolve. You can't stay the same after pain. You either get better or you get bitter. That's the choice. And only one of those leads to winning. The beautiful thing about pain is that it humbles you. It reminds you that you're not invincible, that you still have work to do, but it also reminds you that you're human. And that means you're capable of growth. You may not be where you want to be, but the fact that you're still standing means you've got another shot. You've got another day to fight, to build, to become. And sometimes that pain becomes your fuel. It becomes the reason you wake up earlier, train harder, think smarter. It becomes your advantage. Let me tell you something powerful. There is no growth without discomfort. You can't build muscle without tearing the fibers. You can't develop a winning mindset without going through losses. And you can't appreciate joy without knowing what pain feels like. Pain gives life contrast. It gives success meaning. It makes gratitude real. So don't curse the pain, study it, learn from it, let it shape you. If you want to win, you need a relationship with pain. Not one where you fear it or avoid it, but one where you understand it. Pain is not the enemy. It's a mirror. It shows you where you're weak. It shows you what needs work. And once you face it head on, once you embrace the lessons, you start to transform. You begin to walk differently. You think differently. You act with more intention because now you know what it costs. Now you know what it takes. People who avoid pain avoid growth. People who face pain, who sit with it, who ask it what it came to teach them, those are the people who rise. They don't let the pain define their identity. They use it to refine their identity. Every scar becomes a reminder that they survived. Every wound becomes wisdom. And every painful chapter becomes part of a powerful comeback story. You don't have to love the pain, but you do have to respect it. You have to understand that it's part of the journey. It's not the obstacle, it's the path. And if you walk that path with faith, with discipline, with focus, then pain will no longer be something that breaks you. It'll be something that builds you. So the next time pain shows up, don't run. Don't hide. Stand tall and say, I see you, I feel you, but I'm not afraid of you. Let pain do its work and then do yours. Because in the end, it's not the pain that defines your story. It's how you respond. Will you let it break you or will you let it build you? Will you let it slow you down or will you let it fire you up? Pain is part of the process. And once you embrace that truth, once you understand that pain can push you toward your highest self, you'll stop dreading it and you'll start using it. You'll turn your wounds into wisdom, your scars into strength, and your pain into power. And with that mindset, you won't just survive, you will win. Success doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't appear out of thin air just because you wish for it, hope for it, pray for it. Success is a process, a slow, steady grind that demands patience, focus, and persistence. Too many people give up because they don't see results fast enough. They plant the seed and expect the fruit the next day. But the truth is, anything worth having takes time. It takes seasons of hard work. It takes failure. It takes showing up again and again, long after the excitement has worn off. When you say, I will win, you're not talking about a quick sprint. You're declaring your commitment to the long haul. You're agreeing to stay in the game even when the scoreboard says you're losing. You're saying, I will keep pushing. I will keep improving. I will keep believing even when nothing seems to be working, because you understand that success is not immediate. It's inevitable if you don't quit. We live in a world that celebrates instant results, fast food, fast internet, quick money, quick fame. But greatness doesn't work like that. Champions are built in silence. They're built in obscurity. They're built during years of work that no one sees. You don't get to win just because you want it. You get to win because you are willing to wait for it, work for it, and earn it. That's what the process is all about. It's not glamorous. It's not always fun, but it's always necessary. The process will test your patience. It will stretch your limits. It will make you question yourself. You'll ask, is it even worth it? You'll wonder, am I wasting my time? And that's where most people stop. They throw in the towel. They walk away from something that could have been great just because they didn't have the stamina to stick with it. But not you. You built different. You understand that every delay, every setback, every slow season is part of the journey. You don't complain about the process, you respect it. Success is not one big moment. It's a collection of small moments done right. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the weekends you sacrifice, the times you do the right thing when nobody's watching. It's in a boring repetition, the discipline to keep doing the work, the faith to believe that what you're doing will pay off even when there's no evidence yet. That's the process. And you can't cheat it. You can't skip steps. Every stage has a lesson. If you try to avoid it, life will bring you right back to it. You got to fall in love with the journey, not just the results. Because the journey is where you grow. The journey is where you build strength, character, resilience, and confidence. Everyone wants the trophy, but few are willing to train. Everyone wants the glory, but few want the grind. But the grind is where the magic happens. That's where winners are made. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not when things are easy, but when they're tough and you keep going anyway. Every setback you face, every time you feel stuck, every moment when progress feels invisible, that's the process doing its job. That's life asking, how bad do you want it? And your answer has to be bad enough to keep going. Even when no one's clapping, even when no one believes in you, even when your circumstances scream, give up, you stay locked in, you stay committed because you trust that if you keep sowing, you will reap. Think about the people who have truly succeeded, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders. They didn't rise overnight. They spent years sharpening their skills, building their mindset, preparing themselves for the moment when opportunity finally arrived. The process shaped them. It prepared them. Because if you're not ready, even the best opportunity will slip through your fingers. That's why the process matters. It turns you into the person capable of handling the success you're chasing. And here's something powerful. The process isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about becoming someone greater. When you commit to the journey, you're not just achieving a goal. You're building a legacy. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't quit, who doesn't fold under pressure, who doesn't need immediate results to stay disciplined. That mindset alone is priceless. Patience is a superpower in a world that rewards speed. When everyone else is rushing, desperate for shortcuts, your calm consistency becomes your edge. You don't panic. You don't quit. You just keep going brick by brick, day by day, trusting that your time is coming, because it is coming. Success might not show up today. It might not show up this year, but if you stay committed, it will show up. And when it does, you'll know it wasn't luck. It wasn't random. It was the result of years of preparation, of sweat, of tears, of perseverance. It was earned. So keep showing up, keep putting in the work, keep trusting the process. You're not wasting time. You're building something that lasts, something real, something unshakable. And when your moment comes, you won't just win, you'll be ready for it. You know that every delay, every disappointment, every detour was necessary, because the process didn't just give you the prize, it made you worthy of it. When you declare I will win, you're not just talking about beating others. You're talking about becoming the best version of yourself. And to do that, you have to understand that every single day matters. Every decision you make, every habit you form, every action you take, these are the building blocks of your future. You can't afford to live casually and expect to achieve greatness. You can't move through life like you have unlimited time and still expect to win. You need intensity. You need focus. You need discipline. Success is not for the lazy, the lukewarm, or the half committed. It's for those who wake up every morning with the mindset that says, I'm coming for everything they said I couldn't have. There's a reason why most people don't win. It's not because they lack talent. It's not because they weren't born with potential. It's because they weren't willing to give everything they had to the process. They weren't consistent. They weren't focused. They weren't intentional. They thought they had time, but you don't have time to waste. You don't have time to put off your purpose. Every day you wait is a day you never get back. Every day you procrastinate is the day someone else is outworking you, outlearning you, and outdisciplining you. If you want to win, you need to treat each day like it's your last chance to get better. Success is not built in big leaps, it's built in small, consistent steps. The world rewards those who do the hard things day in and day out, even when they don't feel like it. You don't get to take days off from your goals and expect to stay on top. You don't get to hit snooze and still expect to rise. Winners grind when it's uncomfortable. They push when it's inconvenient. They sacrifice what's good for what's great. There's a price. That's the cost. And if you're not willing to pay it, you can't expect to hold the trophy at the end. You have to dominate your mornings. You have to own your schedule. You have to be ruthless with your focus, cut off distractions, get rid of excuses. Don't wait for motivation. It's fleeting. Build discipline, build habits, build structure, because motivation might get you started, but discipline is what gets you across the finish line. When you live with purpose, when every move you make is intentional, you become unstoppable. You walk different. You think different. You move different, because you know you're not playing games with your life. People who win don't do it by accident. They win because they choose to lock in. They choose to be relentless. They understand that being average is easy. Being great requires a level of commitment that most people simply aren't willing to give. And that's the separation. That's the difference. You can't say you want to win and still live like everyone else. You have to make decisions that align with the person you're becoming, not the person you used to be. You're not in competition with anyone else. You're in competition with your own potential. Every day, you have the opportunity to close the gap between where you are and where you could be. But that gap doesn't close with wishes. It closes with work. It closes with discipline. It closes with sacrifice. You don't get to talk about it. You have to be about it. Stop making promises you don't intend to keep. Stop saying, I'll do it tomorrow. Start showing up for yourself every single day, no matter how you feel. Your time is your most valuable asset. You can't waste it on negativity, on drama, on people who don't add value to your life. You can't waste it scrolling through distractions or chasing validation. Winners guard their time. They guard their energy. They make every moment count because they understand that time lost is success delayed. And they're not willing to delay what they've been working for. And don't think for a second that you have to be perfect. You're going to mess up. You're going to fall short. That's part of the process. But the goal is not perfection. It's progress. The goal is to be better today than you were yesterday. The goal is to never stop growing, never stop pushing, never stop learning. Every mistake is a lesson. Every failure is feedback. Every day is a new chance to get it right. So how bad do you want it? Bad enough to wake up early? Bad enough to stay up late? Bad enough to train when you're tired? Bad enough to say no to distractions and yes to discipline? Because if you really want to win, your life has to reflect that. Your habits have to reflect that. Your grind has to reflect that. The truth is, most people want to win, but they don't want to do what winning requires. They want the results, not the responsibility. They want the victory, not the effort, but not you. You're different. You're willing to do what others won't so you can have what others don't. You're willing to go all in. You're willing to give it your all. And that's why you'll win. Not by chance, not by luck, but because you were willing to live with intention every single day. Every day is a gift. Every day is an opportunity. Every day is a step closer to your goals or a step away from them. The choice is yours. Live with purpose. Move with urgency, grind with intensity. And no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, remember this. If you stay locked in, if you stay focused, if you give it everything you've got, then you will win.